best of the best. But the proudest day of my life was when you turned legit. You started a family, and you got out of the life.
Say goodbye to your wife.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you. We're going to war. Here we go. Open the container. Where's my wife?
Tell him not to dump it in the water.
You will never find that money.
Pull the trigger!
Mark Wahlberg, absolute pleasure to speak to you. It's always great when you guys come over to Dublin, especially for the premiere of a movie. You're one of these guys as well. You balance the commerce of the movie business extremely well with the acting. How difficult a balance is that to strike? And obviously you've produced Contraband as well.
It's not that difficult to balance. I think, you know, I love being involved in every aspect of making the film. And anytime I can maintain a level of creative control, I want to get that for sure.
And how involved are you with bringing the director, of course, it's his first English language feature. How involved were you with bringing him on board for this? And was it a difficult, you know, did you have to persuade him to come back on and do an English version of it?
No, he had a great take. When we saw the original, you know, he had started and produced it, but he didn't direct the original. But we had seen some of the other work that he had done and thought, well, why not just have him direct it? I mean, he's got to be able to get it right the second time around, right? Whoever gets this, you know, a second chance to make a movie over. But and he's an actor first, so he really had a lot of smart things to say, and the direction and the choices that he was making with the other actors was spot on.
In saying that though, it seems like the perfect role for you because it's obviously a blue-collar guy. He's got that kind of inner toughness as well. Is that something that you looked at when you saw the original, and somebody tried to, or did you have to gear the script a little bit more towards yourself?
No, it was definitely there in the original, and you know, he's very relatable to me. So that was definitely appealing.
And you've got a spectacular supporting cast here as well. It's not often you get Giovanni Ribisi and Ben Foster in the same movie together, and the two guys that are quite similar, would seem ostensibly to be quite similar in how they perform or how they prepare for a role. What were their processes like?
They're actually polar opposites to a certain extent in that, like, Ben refuses to rehearse. He won't read any lines whatsoever. And Giovanni, he'll be in there playing with the accent and the voice and reading lines and doing the whole thing. But they're both very, very intense, especially, you know, when the cameras are rolling.
Yeah, and you're moving on to Two Guns now with the same director too. Did you just enjoy the experience so much in Contraband? Obviously it's been a huge hit, it's done very well in the States.
Well, we had a great experience working with him. We think he's super talented, and he's just, there's no wasting time. It's like we shot this whole movie in 40 days. He had never had more than $3 million to shoot a film, so he thought this was like a Avatar budget for him at 25 million. And you know, we just think he'll do a great job on that particular movie. So.
And it must be particularly satisfying for you as well when you're shepherding a project towards production to see it come out and open on top of the US box office and box offices around the world. So, you know, you've helped the project get there, you've helped it get made, not just as a star, not just having your name front and center.
Yeah, so it'll give me a chance to do it at least one more time. And then if that works, it's great, and if not, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. Yeah. But, you know, why not take the chance of, you know, having complete control? If it works, great, and if it doesn't, you know who to blame, you know.
And the Oscar ceremony last year, because The Fighter did so well last year, Melissa and Christian Bale both won awards, and you looked like such a proud parent. You looked so proud sitting there in the crowd. That must have been a very special moment for you indeed, or the nominations coming out in general must have been very special for you for a project you're really passionate about.
It was a thrill just to get the movie made. And then, you know, I didn't care if nobody ever saw the movie. I was going to get it made, and I promised Mickey that I would tell his story. But the fact that we had that much success, both at the box office and with the awards, was incredible. And Warren Beatty even came up to me and said, you know, you'll win the Thalberg Award one day because you're putting everybody else in a position to shine. But I love it. I think, you know, whether it's in movies or television, giving, you know, real talent an opportunity to show what they're really capable of doing, it brings me great joy.
Yeah, and obviously you're quite aligned with television as well. You produce a lot of projects for HBO. You've got Boardwalk Empire on there as well. You've had How to Make in America, Entourage. Entourage seems to come up an awful lot. The Entourage movie seems to come up an awful lot. And obviously you were 8 seasons in when it finished. And that's one of those where you got to make 8 seasons of a show. But at the same time, you can't keep going. Was the movie the only option then to go off?
Yeah, and I think everybody wanted the movie. It's one of those things where people always complained that the episodes were too short and the seasons were too short. So we figured 90 minutes of sheer craziness will be very satisfying to people.
And How to Make It in America, it was kind of more of a cult following here, but people that found it really, really loved it, and it only got to run 2 seasons. So, was that a disappointment then when HBO cancelled it, or was it expected?
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment, but we could either try to put it on another network or talk them into putting it back on the air at some point. But, that's the nature of the business. Some things catch on a little bit quicker than others, but give HBO a lot of credit too, because we didn't have big ratings on that particular show, but for them to even give us a second season was pretty generous of them.
It's talking to the guys behind the wire as well, talking to David Simon. HBO seems to be it's more go get the reviews, get people interested in it, because it's not an advertisement-driven network.
Exactly.
So is that great for you guys from a creative point of view?
Yes, for sure. I mean, yeah, Entourage would have never made it anywhere else. We had a very slow start as well, but it started to build that cult following, and we had the reviews and we had the buzz of the business, so it was able to make it.
Yeah. And what point do you feel in terms of your movie career? Obviously now your headline, the movie started going straight to the top of the box office, but at what point in your career did you feel, okay, I'm leading man now? Was there any point in particular after the music career that you kind of felt like, okay, I'm ready to carry movies now?
Yeah, in the beginning of my career, obviously, I just wanted to work with really talented filmmakers, despite the fact that whether I liked the script or not, or the part or not, it was really just about finding a talented filmmaker, learning as much as I could from them, having that experience, and then moving on to the next. And then at some point, I realized, I just said, you know what? I got to start making movies that I think people want to see me in, and start being a little bit more selfish. And that was probably right around the time when I did Italian Job and then Four Brothers, The Departed, and Invincible. I did those movies back to back.
All commercial.
But I made a couple of movies with filmmakers, and I love the filmmakers, but I didn't love the movies.
Yeah.
And when you're above the title, you still start taking a lot more weight, even though you're working with these gigantic directors. And so I said, listen, I gotta focus on me now.
It's working for you, Mark Wahlberg. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.